Erica Murray, born in 1983 in the United States, was the third child of Kevin and Jaron Murray. The family lived in southern Worcester County, Massachusetts, raising Erica in the same rural home where Kevin had spent his own childhood. Kevin worked as an auto mechanic and handled home repairs, while Jaron, a homemaker, enjoyed crafts. The Murray family was known throughout the community for their sociable and cheerful personalities, often hosting neighborhood barbecues. Erica was described as a charming, happy, and beautiful little girl. She was fortunate to have older brothers who always found the energy to play baseball and hide and seek with her. During her teenage years in the late 1990s, Erica became very aware of her appearance, always ensuring her hair was well groomed and her nails immaculate. She was regarded as a good student, responsible and goal-oriented, especially as she neared graduation. Just before finishing high school, Erica began working at a fast food restaurant where she met Raymond Murray, a man 7 years her senior. Little is known about Raymond's life, except that he had a sister named Kristen and also worked at the same fast food place where Erica found herself. It wasn't long before they became friends, and their relationship quickly shifted from loving and supportive to one marked by control and possessiveness. By 2001, when Erica was 18, she discovered she was pregnant. This revelation threw her into a crisis, as she didn't want to miss her graduation. However, a friend convinced her to attend the event on July 17, 2001. After graduating, Erica gave birth to her first daughter, Kayla. The young family, Erica, Raymond, and their daughter moved into Erica's parents' home. While everything appeared to be going well, by 2003, when Erica found out she was pregnant again, the house had become too small to accommodate another child. In 2004, the young family moved into Raymond's sister's house in Blackstone, Massachusetts, where Erica gave birth to their second son, Nicholas. At first, everything appeared to be going well. Erica shared moments of family happiness on her social media, from birthday party photos to posts about cooking for her children. The kids went to school and socialized with their peers, presenting themselves as a typical, happy family. However, beneath the facade of normalcy, their home descended into chaos. Over time, the house became a dumping ground, though no one seemed to suspect anything was amiss. The children continued attending school, and no complaints about their appearance were raised. Surprisingly, Erica maintained the illusion of a well-managed home by posting about her daily routines, such as washing dishes or preparing meals, and many of her followers praised her for her efforts. Erica worked as a sales clerk at a craft store in Whiteville, but despite this outward appearance, the reality within her home was drastically different. As time passed, family and friends began to notice a change in Erica. The flirtatious, elegant young woman she once was had transformed. She started wearing baggy clothing and almost never left the house, becoming increasingly isolated. Her family attributed this to shame over the disorder within her home, but the truth was far more troubling. What was happening behind the closed doors of that filthy, decaying house remained hidden until September 2014, when it was all uncovered. The terrifying truth was revealed by Erica's neighbor, Betsy Brown. One afternoon, Betsy's 10-year-old son went to play with Erica's son. After a while, the boy called his mother in distress, asking for help to calm a baby. Shocked to hear that there was a newborn in the house, Betsy, concerned, decided to investigate further. Betsy was immediately struck by an unbearable stench as she stepped into the house, and what she found inside was horrifying. The house was in an extremely filthy, dark condition, with sheets and blankets covering the windows, preventing any light from entering. The floors and surfaces were littered with garbage, and rats, insects, and maggots infested every corner. Clothes and excrement piled up in various rooms, contributing to the chaos and decay. Following the distress call from the child, Betsy made her way to the room where the baby was supposed to be. What she discovered shocked her to the core. Instead of a single infant, she found 2 young girls, one about 5 months old and the other around 3 years old. This was a startling revelation for Betsy, who had believed Erica only had 2 children, a 13-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy. The 2 girls were lying in separate beds, crying uncontrollably and rocking violently back and forth. Their bodies were covered in cuts and sores, a grim testament to the neglect they had suffered. The scene before Betsy was a clear reflection of the darkness and chaos that had consumed Erica's life, a life that had remained hidden behind a facade of normalcy. Horrified by what she had discovered, Betsy knew she had to act. She immediately called emergency services and described the appalling conditions she had encountered: dirt on the walls, handprints from a baby, soiled diapers, and maggots crawling over the filth. When the Blackstone police arrived at the Murray home, they were confronted with an unsanitary environment that lacked basic necessities such as hygiene, food, and medical care for the children. The scene was devastating, revealing the horrifying living conditions that had been kept hidden for so long. This was not the first time the house had come under scrutiny. In 2007, the Massachusetts Child Protection Agency had conducted an inspection after receiving a complaint about the deplorable conditions in the home. Despite the earlier visit, the situation had clearly worsened. Despite the previous inspection by the Child Protection Agency in 2007, which found no clear evidence of child neglect, the situation continued to deteriorate without any authority overseeing the welfare of the children. When the police arrived in 2014, horrified by what they had witnessed, they immediately contacted the State Department of Children and Families, which took custody not only of the 2 infants, but also Erica's 10-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter. The urgency of the situation was evident, and swift action was taken to ensure the children's safety. Once in the care of the department, the children underwent medical examinations, and the results were deeply disturbing. The 3-year-old girl had severe muscle atrophy, making it impossible for her to stand upright without support, and she was also sensitive to light. The 5-month-old infant had a flat head from prolonged periods of lying down. Most alarming was the fact that neither of the 2 younger girls had a birth record, and both were severely malnourished, showing the devastating effects of prolonged neglect. The medical team found that the 13-year-old and 10-year-old children had earworm infestations, and their earwax had built up to the point where doctors could not even see their eardrums. The children's conditions painted a horrifying picture of neglect and lack of care. When Erica was informed about her children's conditions and the steps being taken to protect them, her reaction was chilling. She showed a surprising lack of emotion, agreeing with the decision that the children should not remain in such deplorable conditions, but not expressing any real concern for their removal from her care. Instead, her attention seemed to be entirely focused on the disappearance of her cat, leaving many people deeply unsettled about her mental state and the true extent of her involvement in her children's well-being. The stark contrast between her apparent indifference to her children's suffering and her concern for a missing pet raised troubling questions about her role in the chaos they had endured. The impact on the community was nothing short of devastating. No one could comprehend how such a horrific situation had gone unnoticed for so long, with no family member stepping forward to report it, and no authorities taking action. Days after the initial intervention, following interrogations with the children, the police determined that a more thorough inspection of the house was necessary. Armed with a search warrant, detectives returned to Erica's home, fearful of what they might uncover. What they found during this reinspection was far darker and more disturbing than anyone could have anticipated. The conditions inside the house were even worse than they had imagined, revealing the full extent of the depravity and neglect. The house was filthy and unsanitary from top to bottom, but what was even more shocking was the discovery of evidence suggesting a complete and dangerous abandonment. The detectives began to question how Erica's husband, who lived under the same roof and went to work every day, could have failed to notice the dire circumstances. During their search, the detectives made a chilling discovery. In 2 closets, they found the remains of 3 babies. One of the babies was wrapped in adult-sized pants, and shockingly, its umbilical cord and placenta were still attached, indicating that the baby had been placed in these clothes and abandoned shortly after birth. This discovery not only highlighted the horrific neglect the children had endured, but also suggested a complete disregard for life itself. The gruesome find prompted immediate action. The remains were taken to the morgue for further examination, as their advanced state of decomposition required expert analysis. This revelation sent shockwaves through the community, leaving everyone grappling with the unthinkable horrors that had been concealed for so long. The state of decomposition presented forensic experts with a significant challenge in determining the exact time of death. A pathologist suggested that the babies had likely been lifeless for weeks, or possibly even years, before they were discovered. The forensic report also revealed that one of the babies may have been born alive, though the doctor could not confirm this due to the condition of the remains. The discovery of these babies, combined with the possibility that at least one could have survived birth, sent a wave of horror and outrage through the community. This revelation raised serious questions about Erica's actions, drawing intense media scrutiny. When the police questioned Erica about whether she had given birth to other babies, she initially denied it. However, when confronted with the remains, she admitted that she had given birth to one of the babies, though she claimed that the newborn was not breathing after the home birth. Panicked and unsure of what to do, she stated that she had placed the body in a closet. Hours later, in a second interview, Erica was informed that the remains of 2 more babies had been found. She initially claimed that they had also been born lifeless, but after further questioning, she confessed that one of the babies, a girl, had survived for a week before passing away. When asked why she hadn't called 911 or attempted to resuscitate the baby, Erica responded that she had panicked. Erica went on to explain that she had secretly given birth to the babies in the bathtub while her family slept, and admitted that she felt trapped, overwhelmed, and unsure how to escape the situation. Her confession and the disturbing details of her actions left the community in shock and disbelief, questioning how such neglect and horror could have been hidden for so long. Erica's fear that Raymond would abandon her if he discovered the existence of more children led her to keep each pregnancy and birth a secret, which revealed her inability to seek help or handle the situation responsibly. DNA tests confirmed that all 7 children were Erica's and Raymond's. Both were arrested. Raymond, dismayed, claimed he did not know the 2 girls were his daughters and was unaware that 3 others had died and were hidden in the house. However, for the police, a part of Raymond's story did not add up. It seemed implausible that he could live in the house and share a bedroom with Erica without noticing she was pregnant 5 times. They also did not believe he was unaware of the 2 girls living in the house until Erica revealed that she was supposedly caring for them. Despite these inconsistencies, the police could not prove Raymond knew everything, so he was initially only charged with drug offenses. During the investigation, experts discovered that Raymond had been growing marijuana in the basement. Erica faced charges that included second-degree murder, concealment of a fetal death, assault and battery causing significant injury to a child, child endangerment, and 2 counts of animal cruelty related to a cat and a dog. The animals had been removed by the city's animal control office after the full extent of the situation was uncovered. The media dubbed the House of Horrors, and neighbors shared their testimonies about what they had observed over the years. One resident remarked that she had never heard any major complaints, but her grandchildren had once complained about the foul odor coming from the Murray home. Another neighbor expressed regret for not calling animal control after seeing a dog tied up on a very short leash outside the house. The tragic discovery left the community shaken and filled with questions about how such horrors could have gone unnoticed for so long. A postal worker mentioned that the house always seemed dirty, and the children were often seen eating breakfast in the garage. Another woman who lived 2 houses down from Erica's parents' residence in Norbridge recalled knowing Erica since she was a child and was left speechless upon hearing about the situation. According to her, Erica often visited her mother with her 2 older children, but she never saw any other children with her. The employees at the store where Erica worked, selling handmade handicrafts and candlesticks, said they did not know her well and had never been to her house. Some noted that Erica had quit her job about 2 weeks before the grisly discovery. Raymond's co-workers shared that he had confided in them about personal issues, including problems with home life and finances, feeling overwhelmed by fatherhood. One witness revealed that Raymond took refuge in the basement of the house, where he was growing and using marijuana. He showed up to work with dry cleaning and maintained a tidy desk adorned with photographs of his wife and 2 grown children. This person also noted that Raymond always claimed he couldn't leave his wife and take the children because he did not want to hurt her, expressing that he loved her despite everything. The Murray house was eventually declared uninhabitable due to the appalling conditions. It was infested with flies, rats, and even used diapers piled up to nearly 3 feet high. Hazardous materials inspectors worked tirelessly to decontaminate the property, continuing to search with trepidation, fearing there might be other disturbing findings. The cleanup required over $25,000 in costs, which had to be paid by Raymond's sister, the property's owner. The work included the removal of carpets from the second floor, as well as the demolition of walls and shelves in none of the rooms due to contamination. Once investigators confirmed there were no more remains inside, the property was finally demolished in the following days. In the following days, the Murray family, along with friends and neighbors, held several vigils in front of the site, leaving stuffed animals, balloons, and flowers in honor of the children. The community and family members continued to be stunned by the events. During a December 2014 hearing in an Uxbridge court, 31-year-old Eric pleaded not guilty to all charges. Although initially held without bail, his trial was set for June 2019. During the trial, Eric remained in custody, except on one occasion when photographs of the remains of the babies were presented. His defense team argued that the 3 babies might have been born lifeless and not died from neglect. However, the prosecutor contended that Eric's 5 minor children were ignored and neglected, ultimately leading to the deaths of 3 of them. Prosecutors painted a picture of Eric's wife, Erica, as a neglectful mother who forced her children to live amidst garbage, dead animals, dirty diapers, and other filth. They also argued that one of the babies may have been born alive but died after Erica failed to seek necessary medical attention. As the trial continued, the prosecution detailed how Erica, after moving into the house, became pregnant for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th times. All of these pregnancies ended in home births, as no one knew she was pregnant due to her attempts to hide her growing belly under baggy clothes. The trial also featured heartbreaking testimonies regarding the state of the house and the severe neglect of the children. Doctors, social workers, and a neighbor who made the discovery took the stand, describing the horrific conditions and the filth that was pervasive throughout the home. Everywhere Erica looked, there was dirt on the walls, baby handprints, dirty diapers, and baby bottles infested with maggots. The prosecutors recounted how police discovered the remains of babies in the closets. Near one of the remains, there was a dead dog in a bag, and a second baby, missing in diapers and fully clothed, was also found. The courtroom was shown recordings of Eric's interrogation in which she admitted that one baby girl had been born alive but died shortly afterward. She panicked and did not contact authorities. In her defense, Erica's mental illness was raised as a mitigating factor. The experts called to testify stated that she had a personality disorder, which impaired her ability to understand the severity of the conditions in the home. A forensic psychologist testified that Erica had been emotionally abused by Raymond, and that she believed she was doing her best to raise and care for her children, thinking of herself as a loving and good mother. The defense argued that while the Murray home was clearly an unhealthy environment for the children, Erica did not believe her actions amounted to a murder charge. They asserted that the prosecution had failed to prove that she could have taken any action to save the life of the child. The defense also highlighted that Erica's life began to unravel approximately 3 years before the events, when she secretly gave birth to her 3rd child at home. Her partner, Raymond, had insisted on no more children due to their financial struggles, a situation that deeply affected Erica psychologically. She bore the responsibility of preventing pregnancies on her own, while Raymond refused to take any action. The defense further argued that these circumstances may have contributed to irreversible changes in Erica's behavior, potentially linked to severe postpartum depression. Erica's severe postpartum depression led her to hide her pregnancies and keep her babies a secret, fearing Raymond would discover them. She lived in constant fear, unable to escape her nightmare, terrified that anyone else would learn of her youngest children's existence. The prosecution argued that Erica was fully aware of her actions and had lived a life of secrecy and deceit, ultimately causing the babies' deaths. Judge Janet Kinton Walker commented that there was insufficient evidence to prove some of the babies were born alive. While she acknowledged the tragic and senseless nature of the deaths, the prosecution had failed to prove Erica's direct involvement. Therefore, Erica was acquitted of second-degree murder. She was also found not guilty of 2 counts of reckless endangerment regarding her older children. However, she was convicted of 2 counts of animal cruelty and 2 counts of assault and battery on a child. The judge noted the case was extraordinary and involved vulnerable children who had no means of defending themselves, but Erica could not be punished as harshly as some might have wished due to her mental health. "There is nothing about this case that is normal or rational," the judge remarked. After careful deliberation on the appropriate sentence, Erica was sentenced to 8 years in prison. By the time of her sentencing in July 2019, she had already served nearly 5 years, meaning she would need to serve an additional 2 or 3 years before becoming eligible for parole, which was set to be extended for 5 years. As part of the plea agreement, Raymond Rivera, 42, pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including assault and battery on a child with substantial injury, 2 counts of reckless endangerment of a child, 2 counts of animal cruelty, and 1 count of possession with intent to distribute a Class D substance. Despite his attorney's attempt to have the charges dismissed, arguing that Raymond never had custody of the neglected children in the home, prosecutors opposed this, affirming that he was their father. The judge sentenced Raymond to 3.5 years for the assault charge, giving him credit for the 1,642 days already served in jail. For the reckless endangerment charge, he was sentenced to 4 years at the House of Corrections, to be served concurrently with his previous sentence, with credit for 136 days already served. For the remaining charges, Raymond received a 3-year probation sentence, with conditions including no unsupervised contact with children under 10, compliance with service plans from the Department of Children and Families, and following orders from the probate court. Additionally, Raymond was required to undergo substance abuse evaluation and treatment, remain drug-free with randomized testing, and receive mental health evaluation and treatment. Raymond's attorney remarked that he had taken on more responsibility than he should have, considering his position at the time, but ultimately, Raymond just wanted to settle the case. The case of Erica and Raymond Murray left a lasting impact on the community and sparked a national conversation about child neglect and mental health. By the end of 2024, the couple's 2 oldest children, who were 13 and 10 years old at the time of the events, had been placed in the care of Raymond's family. By then, Erica had already been released from prison. As for the small, malnourished girls who had been found alive, but in very precarious conditions, one of them, a 3-year-old named Lisa, reportedly made significant progress after initially being placed in various foster homes. There are conflicting reports about their current whereabouts. Some sources indicate that the children are still in foster care, while others suggest they are now living with their paternal grandparents and older siblings. Erica Murray's case ignited a powerful conversation about the need for proper intervention and mental health support. Though the signs of neglect were evident, neither Erica nor Raymond sought help for the children or themselves, leading to devastating consequences. This tragedy served as a wake-up call about the importance of early intervention to prevent such catastrophic outcomes. In the aftermath, both local and state authorities reassessed their child protection procedures to prevent similar situations in the future. The case highlighted the urgent need for stronger community support systems, more effective care for children, and the timely recognition of warning signs to ensure that vulnerable families receive the help they need before it's too late. Now that we know all the details, do you believe Erica was a victim of her mental struggles, or was Raymond, who lived in the same house, truly unaware of the situation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Well, dear audience, what do you think about today's case? Your opinions are very important to us, so please share them respectfully, considering both the victim and other viewers. Before you leave, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might find it interesting. See you next time with another in-depth investigation.